With the arsenal of weapons growing bigger and bigger in Black Ops 6 Zombies, today I want to give you my top 5 weapons alongside the best loadouts for them. Please keep in mind that these are my favorite guns, so if you have different ones, please put them down in the comment below so we can have a nice chat about them. And also make sure you smash the like button, subscribe for more content, and let's get this. Alright guys, kicking things off on number 5, we do have the ASG shotgun. This has been a fan favorite lately, especially since the Tomb released, because this weapon is extremely powerful against the Tomb boss fight. But it's not only good against that, it's very good against the Terminus boss fight as well, especially when you pair it with the Dragon's Breath, and of course you use the correct ammo mod on it. And it's just a very easy to use weapon, and I guess this is why people like it so much. When it comes to high rounds, this thing will not get you too far. For me, it feels like after round 35 is not that great anymore, but the fast fire rate and pretty decent damage and good mobility and everything with it makes it really viable, especially if you go for the Easter eggs and, as I said, for the boss fight as well. This is very good for Liberty Falls also. It's not that amazing against Citadel Daymore Easter egg, but it's still a pretty viable choice, especially when you have it paired with the swords. The loadout I like running is going to be on the screen right now. For me, this works really well. I did take off the sight because I don't really ADS with this weapon that much, because the hipfire is just so good after you pack a punch it. And this thing is pretty much a killing machine until, as I said, round 40. And if you guys are planning to go, for example, for the terminal calling card, have this weapon with you alongside something else that will get you to round 50, because this absolutely melts the Terminus boss fight if you use Dragon's Breath and Nepal mode. And especially when he's in that phase when he's weak fire, this thing will absolutely destroy him. But at the end of the day, this is a very easy to use weapon. It's perfect for new players. It's perfect if you want to make things a bit easier because you don't have to ADS. And it's just a fantastic choice, but I really feel like there's way better weapons than this in the game. And the only reason this makes the cut is because it's that good against the bosses, and of course especially against that Tomb boss fight, because you really don't want to go in there without this. Like, most of the weapons will do okay, but this just destroys the Tomb. Alright guys, on number 4 we have the SVD sniper rifle. Now this used to be my favorite weapon in the game for a very long time. This does insane amount of damage. Look at that, one shot, break the head of Abomination just like that. This thing does very good damage at higher rounds. It does amazing damage against elites, and is very good against the boss fights. It's pretty much good for any boss fight in the game. But this is a bit better than the ASG, mainly because, well, it does much more damage and it's like a lot more reliable at the higher rounds. This can definitely take down the Terminus boss fight very easy. It's extremely powerful against the Citadel Daymore boss fight as well, which the ASG is not that great. And against the Tomb, it does the same amount of damage as the ASG, but it just shoots a bit faster. But when it comes to taking down the elites around the artifact, well, it does a much better job. One quick downside of this weapon is gonna be the fact that it's a bit slow. At the end of the day, it's gonna be a sniper rifle, and the ammo situation is not that great, and having a quite slow reload doesn't really make it perfect for the really high rounds where the zombies are like super fast or anything. But if it lacks in speed, it definitely makes up for it in damage, and this weapon has a lot of it. It does almost 11,000 damage maxed out, and that means it's around a 5-shot kill at health cap, and it's pretty good at penetrating targets as well. The loadout I like running, it's gonna be on the screen right now. I feel like this works the best. Of course, you will want to have speed cola, so at least you'll reload this thing a bit faster, and also having PhD and stamina up are very good, so you can have that good mobility with. But at the end of the day, if you are looking for a weapon that will do great damage, that can deal with pretty much any boss in the game, the SVD is the perfect choice for you. And this pack-a-punch ability that it has, whenever you pack it, it basically turns into a shotgun sniper. It's like, it has the shotgun crosshair, but it shoots like 4 or 3 sniper shots. It's pretty darn amazing. Like, you can just hipfire this and do so much damage. And if you use the correct ammo mod on it, well, yeah, you can do damage like this. It's so good, especially against armor as well. So I will highly advise anybody to give this a go if you haven't already, and you will see how amazing this is. Alright guys, moving on to number 3, we have the good old GS45s. Now, not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to put this on the 4th spot because I do prefer the SVD a bit more over this, but at the end of the day, the GS45s are still like the best weapons for crowd control, the best weapon for higher rounds. Like, they definitely, well, went down in value, I'll say, lately. with all the weapons added and everything, but they're still pretty fantastic, especially on the Terminus boss fight. On Liberty Falls, this makes everything super easy, and the fact that the Pack-a-Punch 1 and Pack-a-Punch 2, they do so much damage is pretty darn insane. Now, as you can see, it pretty much cooks everything, but the biggest issue for me with this weapon, no matter how good it is for every single round in the game, well, it does run out of ammo extremely quick, especially when you spam this thing, because in akimbo, yeah, you just get very happy with your trigger finger. So basically, yeah, you're gonna run out of ammo pretty fast. The loadout I like running for this weapon is going to be on the screen right now. I think this is pretty straightforward. There's not that much that you can change right here. The akimbo basically being the best attachment you can put on right there, and of course the rapid fire, so you can shoot this thing a bit faster. But at the end of the day, this is a fantastic weapon for high rounds. This is a fantastic weapon for crowd control and everything, but the ammo situation just got a bit too bad with this gun, and even with Vulture Rate, you're not gonna get that much ammo back. So for me, this takes the number 3 spot, but it's still one of the best weapons in the game. Kind of sad that it doesn't do damage to the artifact, so in the tomb boss fight, but other than that, this thing will do just fine on anything you pretty much throw at it. And of course, when you get this weapon, just make sure you grab PhD after you Pack-a-Punch it, because you don't want to kill yourself. Alright guys, moving on to number 2, we do have the AMR mod for Sniper. Now this is an absolute monster. This is kind of the only weapon that will do amazing against every boss in the game. So against the Tomb, Citadel, Terminus, Liberty Falls, whatever you want to do, this thing will absolutely melt bosses. And it kind of does the same amount of damage against the artifact, just like the ASG, and it shoots extremely well as well. It does have a bit of a disadvantage, and that is in the reload speed, because it's pretty slow, not gonna lie, and you empty the magazine pretty fast, because this fire rate, it's just ridiculous. And before you Pack-a-Punch it, you don't even think that this is a great weapon, because it shoots pretty slow. It falls off to like round 5 or 6, it's not even a one-shot anymore. But after you pap it, you can just spam this so quick, it's ridiculous, and it does a huge amount of damage. Now the loadout I like running is gonna be on the screen right now. This works really well for pretty much everything. I did not put the biggest magazine in there because I still want to have that reload somewhat faster. But one thing, this doesn't double the mag size when Pack-a-Punch, so it definitely, you have to be very careful with the ammo situation. But I want to show you how amazing it does against hordes of zombies. Look at that doppelganger just going down like instantly, and then we have an amalgam, and it does 19,000 damage in the crit spot. 19,000 damage, which is pretty darn insane, because you have this fire rate, and you can just like absolutely melt him. Look at this, he's pretty much dead, just like that. It's pretty good against penetrating multiple zombies at once as well. Look at that. Look how much damage we're doing. So we're doing almost 20,000 damage per shot, meaning at health cap, which is 50,000, this is gonna be a 3-shot. And with a super fast fire rate, well, you're not gonna be having a lot of real issues, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. But also, at the end of the day, this is a more skillful of a weapon compared to the ASG, for example, but this will get you higher into the rounds as well, because it does a lot more damage. And finally, on the number 1 spot, we do have the D13 sector weapon. I had to put this in here. This has been released with a new event, and this thing is just absolutely insane. It does 29,000 damage maxed out on the zombies without hitting any critical spots. It doesn't even care if the zombies have armor on them. It literally just goes through it and does 29,000 damage. This means it's a 2-shot at health cap, which is pretty darn insane. And what is even better, it penetrates up to 7 zombies, being able to kill 7 zombies with 1 shot, and that is just pretty much crazy. Of course, at the higher rounds it's gonna be a bit tougher, because even though it's a 2-shot, it shoots kind of slow, so you do have to train up the zombies a bit, but you are able to just destroy the hordes, being able to shoot 7 zombies at once. And this is not even the best part about it. The best part about it is the fact that it absolutely melts the Terminus boss fight and the Citadel Daymore boss fight. It does 18,000 almost on the Citadel boss fight, which is pretty much the maximum amount of damage you can do on that, and you don't even have to hit crit spots or anything, you just shoot whatever you want. And then on the Terminus boss fight, to give you an example, if you have Nepal mode and you have it maxed out, and when the terminus fight is basically weak to fire, it does 73,000 damage when you hit that crit spot. It's absolutely insane. And when you don't hit the crit spot and you don't have the right ammo mod, it does 40,000 damage. Like, it's just ridiculous how powerful it is, and I'm pretty sure that this is gonna get patched and it's gonna get nerfed. Of course, it does have some different ammo mods as well, but they're not very good. The explosive one is pretty decent, but the standard ammo mod is just pretty much the best. And of course, have the attachment that makes it shoot a bit faster. It only has a few attachments, so yeah, I'm gonna put the loadout on the screen just in case for you guys to see it, but this weapon is absolutely ridiculous, and I will highly advise anybody to give it a go right now if they have trouble with any of the Easter eggs in the game. One quick thing, it doesn't really do anything against the tomb boss fight. That artifact is like really picky when it comes to the weapon that you use on them, so yeah, definitely don't use the the D13 sector, but if you have it with you, it will absolutely destroy the elites in there. So I will highly advise anybody to give this a go. Like, you can see in the gameplay in the background how well it takes down the Terminus boss fight and the Citadel Daymore one. So definitely give it a go until it gets nerfed, because I'm pretty sure they will do it. I really hope Treyarch will not nerf this, because it's pretty fun to use, and at the end of the day it's pretty slow, and before you pack a punch it, this thing it's pretty much useless. Like, it doesn't even one-shot a round 2, but after you pack it, this thing becomes amazing. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today, guys. These are my top 5 weapons in the game. Let me know in the comments below what are your top 5s, or if you agree with mine or not. And yeah, let me know if you want to see a part 2, because there's so many more good weapons in the game that I really want to share with you. So make sure you smash the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.